I decided to try something a little different today. I decided I want to try to make some videos explaining how to play as certain characters in Marvel Rivals. And I know this video is probably not going to get a lot of traction, but I figured it would be fun and a bit of a change of pace from my usual content. Hello everyone, and today I'm going to be making a guide for how to play Spider-Man. Yes, this is a 5-star character, not off to a great start for a new series. Yeah, the 5-star difficulty is no joke. I'm just gonna let you guys know right now. Like, I've been playing this character for well over 20 hours, and I still am not that good at it. I'm okay. Like, I can do the combos, I can swing reliably, but in terms of actually getting KOs, you'll see why as the video goes on, but Spider-Man takes a lot of practice to be able to properly play, and even after this guide, you will have to go to the practice range to really figure things out for yourself. So, let's go ahead and start. We're going to go through all the abilities, explain what they do, how they work, and what you can do to combo them and secure some wins for your team. I'll also be showing off some strengths and weaknesses of the character so you know which fights to go into and which ones you want to duck out of before things get bad. I'll also give some suggestions for playstyle and what to do in certain situations. With that out of the way, let's go ahead and start with the basics. Starting with his primary attack, it's literally just a punch, and a kick. And this is very close quartered. Like, you are most likely not going to get kills with this. I mostly would recommend just using this as a finisher. We'll talk about his actual primary damage, but first let's talk about his web shooters. Now remember, these web shooters, these do a decent chunk of damage, but they have a utility which we'll explain in just a minute. As for his web zip, if you just use the web zip by itself, it'll pull enemies directly to you, but if you use the web shooters, like I was saying before, Spider-Man actually throws himself toward the enemy you tagged, and it'll deal even more damage. There's a combo you can use this for, which I'll explain later on in the video. Web swinging is pretty straightforward. You will shoot a web at the nearest grapple point, and Spider-Man will swing as far as his web can throw him. And finally, Spider-Man's ultimate. When activated, Spider-Man will spin around, slinging webs at any nearby enemies, and maybe stun them if they're caught in the radius for long enough. This deals a ton of damage, and it's really good for countering certain ultimates. Now let's talk about that combo I mentioned. So you want to do as follows. Land a tracer, zip to the enemy you just marked, uppercut, and then try to finish them off either with a punch or with your web shooters. It should look something like this.
I don't want to hit you more than I have to.
Now let's talk about some extra advice. So the first thing I recommend is, as soon as you're comfortable with all of the controls and you know what everything does, try to play the game with easy swing turned off. I just showed you where it is in the settings. Now, when you turn this off, it's going to take a lot of getting used to, but I promise the game only gets easier the more you do it, and you unlock some other swings that you would never have been able to do with easy swing turned on. You can actually do some crazy maneuvers with easy swing turned off. And I'm just showcasing the things you can do. You can like swing for way longer distances. You can break your swing early even with easy swing on, but it just becomes a lot easier with it off because you can control it more. And you can also do something called bunny hopping, which I don't really know how to explain. It's a little bit advanced for a basic tutorial, I know. Just trust me when I say there's a lot you can do with easy swing turned off that you would never be able to do with it on. So just use easy swing sort of as a set of training wheels. Use it while you're learning the character, and then when you're comfortable enough, turn easy swing off, and yeah, trust me, you'll notice a difference. Now let's talk about team-ups. So Spider-Man currently has 2 team-up abilities, one for him and one for another character. If Spider-Man and Venom are on the same team, Spider-Man gains another ability, he can use the combo. If Spider-Man and Squirrel Girl are on the same team, Squirrel Girl gains another acorn that she can toss that allows her to stun enemies. And now let's talk about some strengths and weaknesses. So, starting off with a very, very big weakness of Spider-Man is he does not do well against tanks. Tanks just have way too big of health bars. You're going to struggle to combo against them. If you're going to fight a tank, fight it with the team. However, squishies, you can make squishy targets your bitch, basically. Because Spider-Man combos so easily, even if it is in quick bursts, he can absolutely eviscerate flying targets. However, another weakness is because Spider-Man is squishy himself, there are a lot of characters that can counter him. And you may be thinking, well, Spider-Man has a ton of maneuverability. Why does he just swing out? Because there's also a lot of characters with crowd control. There's a lot of characters that have like area of effect attacks, and it can just be very difficult to account for all of that. So if you are playing Spider-Man, here's my advice for playstyle. Pick your fights, pick enemies that you know you will be able to hard counter. When you find a fight you think you can win, go in, try to deal as much damage as you can in quick succession. If you are about to die, get out, try to refill your health, look for health packs. You are going to be extremely vulnerable, however, you are also incredibly agile. Health packs are scattered everywhere around the map, learn where they are. If you can get heals from your teammates, that's great, but don't depend on it at all. There are some other characters that are going to be extremely agile, characters like Star-Lord, for instance, characters like Psylocke. Those characters will struggle against you still because while they are agile, they are nowhere near as agile as Spider-Man. With all this said, this really is a playstyle. Spider-Man is a real, like, true dive comp hero. He's basically a glass cannon. Your objective is basically to just annoy the enemy. Be like Peter Parker. Annoy the hell out of your enemy. They get mad. You get laughs. That's it for now. Hope you enjoyed this guide. Leave a like if you did. Subscribe if you're new. I'm out.
Spider Fist is ready to punch.